Hello. I'm trying to find a road opener meditation frequency, I guess. Mm,
Opening all roads.
back up. Meditation music. Road opener meditation music. That's what I'm looking for. Not the. Let's see. Let's see if this is one. No words. Okay, I just want the frequency. All right, so I wanted some road opener music playing in the back of frequency because I do need roads to open on this YouTube channel. Okay, so I have the glasses. Let me get my let those who have eyes see. Let those who have eyes see. So I have frankincense and myrrh burning in the background. All right, so doing my read earlier, I had a repeat from yesterday's live or either the video the day before. Um, Hi, this is Dream Troop Communications, and I am here to deliver this message. All right, this card says there is plenty for everyone, including me, and she's just there. The ocean of life is lavish with its abundance. All my needs and desires are met before I even ask. My good comes from everywhere and everyone and everything. Yes. So I was able to pick up a few cards today from the Moonology to see what the message was. And it was it's time to release negativity. Now, even though I've been reading cards silently for me, myself, and I for a shorter period of time that I've been going through my spiritual awakening. So now, in the energy that we are in now, it's time to release negativity hits different because I'm at a higher frequency in my spirituality. So, to where I'm at now in the energy, everything I read now, it reads different. Everything I do now is different. It's a different type of energy. And it's almost like, let me know if anybody else resonates with this. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Some people were at a state of not knowing a lick about hidden knowledge, not knowing a lick about wisdom, not knowing that wisdom was a feminine energy, not knowing that you can connect wisdom with Sophia, but you could also connect wisdom with Thoth, with Hermes, right? So all these names coming up now, and you like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I thought there was no other but Jesus. Okay, what resonates and leave the rest. So let's just put it like this. By default, by design, you were only taught the limited in an unlimitless energy. I don't even know if I want to say world, because we got to literally look at the bigger picture. So the cards say it's time to release negativity. Hi, sweetie, how are you? It's time to release negativity. So when you think about it's limitless, now this card hits different when it say there is plenty for everyone, including me. There is plenty for everyone, including you. If the information was not plentiful before, it is now. Now everything you read, everything you see, everything you do, it hit different. You cannot stay in the mindset that there's not enough for everybody. It's my time to shine. It's my time to come up. It says the ocean of life is lavish and abundance. The ocean is infinite. That's how much energy is out there for us. If it's for me, then it's for you, because we are a collective. Ain't that what they said? Everything is connected. So when we wasn't looking at the stars, when we wasn't reading anything about aliens, right? And you go to look up the different definition of aliens, the Emerald Tablet. I might gotta turn this off because it's in all these books. And by the time some people get to them, the book's gonna be even higher. So you're gonna need to create some income. So, what I acknowledge today, y'all, I apologize. I had to go get my tea because I feel like I'm going to turn up on this hero internet today. I realize that it's time to teach something different, to do something different, and we can stay in procrastination all we want to. Right now, I'm playing the role opener for anybody in here who it's time for them to release the negativity, who knows that there is plenty for everyone to break every chain. The chains are broken. The chains are shattered. We not singing, get the shackles off our feet, off our hand. The shackles already the fuck gone. There are no shackles. It's an illusion. So, we're releasing that negative energy. If it comes like chaos, it comes like chaos. If you want it to be pink and fluffy, it can be pink and fluffy. But the thing about it is, it's time. It's time to release it. It's time to release the negative thinking. Right? Now, it's time to take action. So some people were feeling the energy as Aries season to have action, to do something different, to have something different, to be something different, to be, to do, to have, without scarcity, right? So we using that mental alchemy in what? Mental awareness month. Mental health awareness. So they want you to be aware of your mental awareness, right? Your mental illness. They want you to be aware. They want you to celebrate mental illness without telling you that it is a superpower. Okay, so in the Kabbalah, it says, the mind is all and the universe is mental. In the Kabbalah, it says, as above, so below. Shit falling. I told y'all shit was going to hit the fan. As above, so below. Let it flow, let it go. But what's on top? Happiness haters stood on top. It's going to be some happiness haters. And they just got to be. So if you ever thought, oh, nobody's going to hate on me, why would they hate on me? Right? Let me tell you why. Because you are in that 100,000 years, that 300,000 years, that 3,300 years of prophecy. You are in that 33 degree, right? Okay, so let's take it to Masonic, right? Let's do it that way. The highest ranking of Masonics are 33 degrees. But that's in sorcery or a secret society. But you have to be at a 33-degree angle to even be interested in tapping into. Okay, my God. Yes, baby, your God. Yes, baby, your God. You have to decode everything. You have to decode everything. So, how are we going to do this? The high priestess, right? So, before you awaken, you only heard of a priest. You didn't hear about no high nothing. High God, not high priest, right? You thought that the priest that was teaching you originally in the old world, because you have your own new world, you have your own new world, your new world. Everybody creating their own image right now. You are created in your own image. So your whole image, that's right, your whole image is for you to be the high priest or priestess. Nobody can take that from you. No person, place, or thing is giving this to you. You are giving this to you. Right? So it's time to release negativity. It's saying before in your old world, you would have never attached yourself to the highest of the highs, to the cosmos. You would have never attached yourself to the ethers. You would have never said, I am energy, I am frequency, I am vibration. You wouldn't have said that in your old world. Hey? But in this new here world that you have, that nobody can kill or destroy, this new earth that you have, this new heart, you won't, negativity is out, and you know that it's plenty. And you know that you've been laying around having a pity party when you should be at your highest, because you have enough knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to do it for yourself, by yourself. And you know that Hermes, Isis, Nefertiti, High Priestess you, Hierophant you, Chariot you, have exceeded even the 33. You exceeded to the 77. So remember, in the Bible, the sevens was in the beginning. 7 whole days, right? You had 7 whole days. You had 24 hours, 6, 7, right? So, like I said, some of you have surpassed even the Freemasons with your spirituality. It's even bigger if we want to look at the bigger picture. You have tapped into esoteric, adepts, the masters. You have tapped into your inner self being the great Hermes, her feminine energy, Egypt, feminine energy. You have tapped into your higher, your greatest. All right, so in Egypt was located great lodge of lodges of mystics. So in the Bible, they were calling them prophets. In another book, they're going to call them mystics. In another book, they're going to call them whatever, right? And the list goes on and on. There is no beginning and there is no end. It's only the levels, the amount of levels of the ladder that you either climbing up or climbing down. As above, so below, as within, so without. Right? So, when you start to change some of the his or he is or she is and start putting it is, the is, right? And you start switching words around, you start to read it from a different eyes. You start to read it from where you at now. So what books do I have right here? I have Nas Mahadi. I'm going to channel out of these books. I'm going to show y'all how to make it go. I have the Kabbalah. I have the Emerald Tablets. And I have the Message Bible in large print. And I have some free writes. Okay, so the frequency playing in the back is road opener. Why road opener? Because no matter what it looked like, when you have all this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, there could still be an energy that's holding you back or attempting to hold you back with chains, invisible chains, right? But you're at a mountain because you got to think it's a year number 10. The year number 10 is the magician and the fool. But the fool is on a mountain. The fool is on a cliff, hanging on a mountain, and did not even realize that the mountain was you. So nothing else but past life traumas, past life fears, past stress, right? Dis-ease, PTSD that everybody got. Take what resonates and leave the rest, even if they just got a snippet. It's holding you back if you feel lack. If you don't feel lack and your life is perfect, you ain't on the cliff. But when you have these two energies working together, the magician and the fool, you have to know that's what 2026 is. Now, let's go back. Let's go back to when they were saying A, B, A, C, D, C. Those were 8,000 and something years and 33,000 years. And you telling me we back? We went back to 2026? Who's operating the channel? From AC to DC, who's the record keepers? Are you keeping your records? Because those are questions that you got to have courage to ask. Whose tools, whose books are we reading that can go back? Prehistoric, medieval times. Can you go back that far? Because y'all got to understand, they told you we burn up a lot of the books. Remember, they were supposed to have burnt the knowledge. But now they say we got aliens, extraterrestrial, esoteric, talking to us on a planet. You said what had happened? Okay, so let's talk about universal laws and those eyes, right? Universal laws say they gotta tell you, right? But they told you they burnt all the education. And probably now for some people that chose shoes and the worldly things, material things that they try to program into you on the right days, the right holy days, you think that you're supposed to be in consumerism of this type of shit. But if the world was coming to an end from what we thought we knew, where you at in your assignment or what you getting ready to teach to God's people, God's true people, the goal, the God spell, this new God spell, because that's what people don't understand. We were under the illusion of an old God spell, gospel, God spell. I gotta teach you God, because if I don't teach you God, that's where they were at. But now you have come. Remember, they said you were going to love God, you weren't going to love God, and then you were going to love God again. But that's before you was like, damn, it's a whole lot of big G ODs and little G ODs and big G little ODs. It's all levels to this shit. Just like it's levels to that sorcery. So now that you know that it's all levels, Yes, took me straight out of bondage. Took me straight out of bondage to realize that I have the high priestess in me, I have the hierophant in me, and I have the chariot. I am these things. Alchemy. We have an arch. We have our own covenant. And if you don't, your mind is thinking like, yo, I got to do this a different way. I know something different. I can teach something different. I can do something different. Because what? I can read all the books, but the downloads, the uploads, the freeloads, because all you needed was to do the main key: study thyself to show thyself approved. And anything else that you do in a lecture, in a reading, is giving and receiving. You have to be the chariot. You have to be the vessel to get on the right frequency, vibration, and energy for you to get the message for yourself and the strength to come and share it with somebody else. That's what teachers do. Because they want to go to church. They getting paid to go to church, right? So we're going to use this as our own church. The fool, the magician, the Bible, the high priestess, the cars, the books, the voice, the alchemy. So we got 77 out here. Somebody might be in seventh dimension. Somebody could be in 77th dimension. I bet they won't say that, because they want you to think that you got to stay on the lowest. If one of, right? Okay, so we're going to do this. Some people that's been in the food, that's tearing down towers, somebody out in the cold, and they looking for, what is this energy that I need to adjust? What angels am I dealing with? Dealing? I hear dice games. What angels, ancestors, just the energy. Because let's be honest, wouldn't the angels be extraterrestrial? Aliens? I can feel the spirit, but I don't see nothing. I can feel this energy, but I don't see nothing. Discernment. You have to have discernment. Return to sender. All right. Ascended Master Hilarion Green Chrysophus. Discernment. I rely upon the inner knowing to perceive the truth beyond appearance. I feel deep within for the truth of divine love with me, guiding me in every moment, inspired by grace with perfect timing. I attain the clarity I need. I feel joyful and supported as I trust my emerging insights to safely navigate my way to higher ground. My inner eye sees truth which faithfully and playfully guides my path. So you want to be faithfully and you want to be playfully. You want to play with the energies. You want to play with the platforms. It's all for play. It's all for entertainment purposes only. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Get in where you fit in. I recognize and I am nourished by the supreme vibration of truth. So, This is my page. This is the Dream Truth channel, right? Better communication. So, this gonna go deep, and I know some people are like, what is she over there doing? Roll with it. That's what she over here doing. She rolling with the energy. She rolling with the alchemy. The mental alchemy in mental health month. All right, so I've been over here in hermit mode, soul searching, right? So I said I'm the high priestess. I had to know that there was plenty for everyone, including me. I had to know this. I didn't have to believe it. I had to know that there is enough. I had to have discernment that there is enough. The ocean, what did it say? The ocean. That's how big and wide, think big, had to be for me. The ocean of my life is lavish. Y'all about to see some stuff change. You see how that is? Y'all about to see some things change. Period. And it's a lavish with its abundance. It's a lavish. I really think that Hermes energy, this Billy Carson book, y'all, I really think that all of them, all of their energies is right now is reincarnating in this 1 and this 10 year. Not even including the days, but in this 1 and 10 year, I keep telling you, this high priestess is out here for the world to see. This high priestess, this empress energy is out here. This emperor energy, this higher font is higher. Do you get that? This strength that you got when you release this negativity and have discernment, you ain't got to listen to me. You got to go get your own books. It's not even about anybody. We have to do this work as a spiritual being. We have to give and receive. We have to know our assignment as an angel, as a extraterrestrial, because, you know, who are the humans? Who are the Hercules? Who are they? Who were the what was it? The Hulk, the Green Man, right? Who was the Sphinx? That's what you were finding out when you was in hermit mode. That's the energy that you were finding out when this fool and this hierophant started working together. Right? When you were the chariot and the tower together, you were driving off and you were burning up and breaking down stuff like maybe the dinosaurs. Right? The fire dragons, the dragon horse. Oh, is that? Yeah. That's this year? That's the courage of the energy of why you need to know what self-love is and love without conditions. Right? I see. Like this right here. Love without condition. Okay, so the high priestess is a number 2. So we're talking about going back to the zero energy first, because you got to think, was it 0, 1, 2, 3, or was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 0? That don't make sense. So zero in the beginning, 0, 1, the fool. So it's kind of like when, what was his name? What was that man's name? He was saying that multiplication was wrong. What's his name? Terrence Howell. He an actor. But anyway, he was saying that mathematics was all wrong because they were saying 1 times 1 was 1, and there was no multiplication, right? A lot of people thought that as a child, but how dare you tell the grown folks that they're wrong? So, yeah, it's kind of like what they doing with the change now. But now we about to start operating with this celestial numbers, this cosmic numbers, this Hermes, right? Christmas. I'm trying to think what book I started reading first today. All right, so I don't know if anybody ever read this book. This is a live, but I'm leaving this up, so this will be class. If you in here, if you come back and you in here, put the truth. Because that's the name of my channel. The gospel of the truth. Now, this is a very difficult book to read. No, not that one. Oh no, we got to get this one first. I apologize. No one that ain't hitting right. I kept saying, no, this one is not. Well, this one sort of kind of is once you learn how, but this one we need to be in. I've been in the wrong book. I just thought about it. I've been in the wrong book. We're going to go to The Secrets. The Book of Secrets. Hey, how you doing? So I had to change the books because I needed to get back over here. And then we're going to go over here. So we're going to channel through a few books today. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. So, 108, The Book of Secrets. Because I think people be coming to your channel not knowing who the hell you are. And think just because you're not up here saying Jesus all day that you don't know that there are other energies. That Jesus was a mystic. Right? So, I said wisdom was a female energy, a divine feminine. So it's kind of like wisdom and knowledge, right? The serpent, the snake that told Adam and Eve was prehistoric, right? So nobody was asking, the snake was talking? The talking snake. Perhaps even the walking snake, or was the snake just a spirit? Let's see how much charge I got, because I don't have that much charge today. to work with the books of secrets. All right. It's page 108. The code is 1Q27 4Q299 through 301. And it says, where shall secrets be found? And where is the place of understanding? So, such way the cry of the author of Job, right? So it says, where shall she be found? Because we know wisdom is a she. Where shall wisdom be found, and where is the place of understanding? Where is the energy of understanding? Wisdom. And they said that it's in Job 28:12. Seven one seven 708 717. Let go. 717. They go Esther. Esther is the treaty, Antarctic Treaty. Esther. 1, 2, 3, 4 universal laws. Esther got a very small part, don't she? Yeah, they won't really rock it with that feminine energy in there. Okay, Book of Wisdom. So, hey, we're in the Book of Secrets and we're in the Book of Wisdom. All right? From the Message Organs, it says, there is a distinctive stain of writing in the Bible that more or less specialize in dealing with human experiences. All right, it says, as is, this is what is involved in being human being. And don't you forget that. So, wisdom is common destination given to this aspect of biblical witness and writing, right? Wisdom is common, right? Hey, wisdom is common during this destination giving, right? So you done hit wisdom, you exceeded, you surplused the information of the Bible. You found something to go along with it because you had to understand, this ain't all. You had to go get other tools. Okay, so let's give you the channel message that I have found in my free write. All right, it says, little Albert Einstein live here sometimes. It's the hell with. All right. Road opener, road opening, road opening. Road opener, road opener, road opener. All right. So we're going to read this page first. We're going to jump around like they did in church. You're looking for something tangible. You're looking for something that you can touch, that you specifically ask for. perceptible by touch, consciousness, right? You're looking for something in your consciousness, the state of being aware of one's surrounding. You're looking for something to surround you. You're looking for something, somebody, some people, place, or thing that's going to give you confirmation of this abundance for this work that you have done. You're looking for a tribe. You know, I don't know. But you know that I am oneness with this thing called God. This thing called God is, right? You know, I'm one with it. I get it in. I do all the work, right? You put salt in plates and cinnamon. You blow cinnamon in your door. You ring your singing bowl. You shuffle your cards. You do your meditation. You do all things. There is a limitless amount of things that you do to connect yourself on the highest realms of this thing, source. I allow this source, allow with my arm, leg, arm, head. Allah, Islam, right? I self. I am the Islam, right? You want to be Islam? I am. What you want to be? I self, law master. So you going with the Islam, I self, law master. You going with the Allah, I allow, Allah, arm, leg, arm, head. Right? So you in all of it. You decoding. The decoder is decoding all of it. There is no limits to this decode. When you got Hermes, you got Nimbers, you got high priestess, you got archangels, you got all the tools, and whatever tools you don't have, you willing to go buy those tools. So that's how we gonna get to this message, this book of secrets, this wisdom that we get ready to learn about. This secret called wisdom, sovereignty. This secret books of sovereignty, dominion, sovereignty. When you working with dominion, sovereignty, and control is for you. Supreme power of authority. Supreme power of authority over your own mind. You don't got to go out here and rep nobody else. Mental illness awareness. You're just trying to focus on thyself. To show thyself. You're just trying to put yourself in the frequency, because that's what I do over here. I want to stay in the frequency of this channel to get to the most high and touch some people, and they can realize that they too can heal thyself. They can hypnotize thyself. That's what we over here doing. Aren't we trying to hypnotize ourselves and let other people's gospel, ghost spell, God spell of them trying to teach you, and you like, I don't get it. It ain't clicking. It's not showing up for me. The abundance is, I'm giving it all away. Because my aunt, the math said we should have been giving and receiving. Just like when you go to a job. So we're going to read what Job got to say in this book of secrets. Let me get to Job. Because Job has some wisdom, and that's why they call a job Job. Let's go. Because Job has some wisdom. Right? The word in this context, refers to more, to more to a kind of attitude, right? So we ride ranging this umbrella of knowledge right here. Now, the book of secrets in the Dead Sea Scroll told me to go over here to Job. Now, the first line of Job, the way my book reads, say, Job suffered. So right there, point blank and period, if you have not suffered, this class might not be for you. Because ain't that what we over here doing on YouTube? People come on YouTube to learn something, right? And throughout my journey, I have learned how to take this camera and take my tools and use them to the best of my ability. And hopefully I can go back next year and I be built my frequency of a breakthrough with generational wealth. Okay, because Job has suffered. Job had suffered. So if you ain't suffered, or if you don't feel the energy that you could be possibly suffering, if it ain't nothing but for opening your mouth and telling people how you really feel, that's a practice. That's a skill. It's a skill to open your mouth and let the world know with a high frequency I have no microphone. Soon to come. But just because I don't have a microphone, I still got a camera. There's a mic automatically in place. I just have to be on a high enough frequency. Because what? Why is my frequency so high? Because I suffered. Just like Job, or just like Job, I did. Suffered with it and suffered without it. Right? So, his name is simultaneously with suffering. He asks his name. Why? Even he was like, no, I don't like this feeling. Why I gotta do this? Why I gotta go through that? It was like this. What? I'm going in circles. You got me going in circles. Dum, dum, dum. But circle is a very, very, circle is it, baby. Circle, the world. Circle. Triangle. Square. Circle. 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 Yes, tap it now. Job was like, why? Why me? He asked. And he put his questions to God. So when Job was in the energy of suffering, the struggle is over now, because the struggle has to be over for Job, because Job made it to the Bible. So the struggle he asked this question persistently, passionately, eloquently. He asked this question: why am I suffering? Right? The book of secrets said, Job, wisdom shall be found. So Job found wisdom in his time of suffering. He refused to take silence for an answer. So Job refused to just meditate and not say nothing. Job refused to not just meditate on Job was soul searching for intro in his silence. Job was searching for intro. Okay, so just think about this. When a person's searching for a job, don't they feel like they suffering somewhere? Like they feel like the money just ain't showing up in their account? Like they know they doing the work, but where's the tangible, right? Because if they're gonna be a human, they're looking for something tangible. So now that Job prevailed to prove more powerful than opposing forces. So Job knew he needed to ask somebody, why? Why me? Why am I suffering with all this passion, persistently, all this work that you do, right? He refused to be silenced anymore. He just refused to take any more silence. He refused to take clicks for an answer. He refused to take clicks for an answer. He refused to let God off the hook. What? You mean to tell me I did all this work and there is no reward? There's no such thing once you know law. So Job did not take his suffering quietly or poisonously. He disdained going from a second opinion to outside physicians and philosophers. He didn't want to do that no more. Job took his stance before God. He stood fast on, and there he protested his suffering, protested Almighty. He protested, the struggle is over. That's what he protested. He said, I need to, Ayana fix my life. The struggle is over. All right, so it is not only because Job suffered that he is important to us. It's because he suffered in the same way that we suffer, in the vital area of the family. Now we ain't suffering. This past tense, y'all. This history, right? We're not in the energy of suffering, right? But that's where it was. Suffering from his family energy, personal health, and material things. So he was lacking in his mindset. He was suffering because he didn't see these things. And he know that he got a birthright. He knew that he had a birthright. Right? So crisis. He was in a crisis. A time when difficulty, trouble, or danger. When you know that there are minimal things, and I need for a lot of spiritual people real spiritual people. I'm not talking about nobody that's straddling the fence about, am I spiritual? Am I esoteric? Am I hidden knowledge? Am I my higher self, source? God is high priestess. Am I the chariot? Am I the vessel? Am I the judgment? Am I discernment? I'm not talking about. If you don't know, you are all those things. Mentalism. correspondence, vibration. That's the road opener. Now, danger. The possibility of suffering harm or energy, injury. That's what danger is supposed to be. The definition, the possibility of suffering harm or injury. Now, it's in danger. It's a crisis when you're not synchronizing your energy and you just staying in that. Right? So, this is a personal, a spiritual assessment. I ask it this way. But as I was reading in, I think, Billy Carson's book, he read it in a different way. Was it that book? Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's in the other book. So I asked it in, where do you stand? What do you stand on? And what do you stand for? That's the way I asked. But is it this one? No, it's this one. Right? And I had forgot about this book. I hadn't pulled it out in a while. If anybody come across this video, this is, let me tell you, I went through here because this is an older book for me, and I think I got two of them. I'm going to look for the other one. And I did get two. I think I got it back, but the book is falling apart. But as I had the Kabbalah out today, it took me back to the principles of correspondence. The second Hermetic is based on the belief that there is a working unison, consistently, or correspondence between many planes of levels of the universe. Stated plainly, as above, so below. Now, the secret is that suffering without wisdom of knowing, doing, being, and having was only for a season. That suffering that you identify with. Okay? Okay. So it says Job is also important to us because he searchingly questioned and boldly protested his suffering. Indeed, he went to the top with the question. Right? So he was at the bottom and he found a middle plane, and then when he got to this plane, he went on up. I need to know, you know what I'm saying? How, who I need to talk to. It ain't working. All right, so it is not suffering such as the troubles. Okay, let me see what Job 28, because I'll go through the whole Job. So let's see what Job 28 say. Because I ain't even got into Job, and I'll read the whole Job. I promise you I will. Job 28:12. Okay, we got some highlights over here. The third round, harmony, new life, and completeness. Job, hated and persecuted. That's what his name means. Job was hated and persecuted. That's why he was suffering. He was suffering. But was he really hated? So right here in Job and 20, I already got highlighted. I got a highlight over there. But where, oh where will they find wisdom? Where, oh where would they find wisdom? And the entire literature, evenly a literary moment, stood behind that cry. Wisdom books. Where will you find wisdom? From wisdom books. Simple. Decode. Are the biblical writings and the ones outside of the Bible, because this ain't the Bible. This is the codex, right? Because we're working with codes, so you got to have codex, right? Wisdom books that embody this search for understanding. It says Proverbs, Ecclesiastic, or the Koheleth. Now, I don't have the Koheleth. Koheleth. If anybody want to buy it for me, send it to me. Send it on over here. And Joe. So, indeed, like indeed, the job search thing. I can't make this up. They said, but Job and Job. So you can find this understanding of wisdom from Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Job, or Koheleth. Koheleth. I need to look that up. So, indeed, almost every culture of the ancient Near East had its own representative books of wisdom. And the oldest collection of Proverbs are not Israelite, but Egyptian. So, it said the oldest is not the Israelites, it's the Egyptians. Go back to the late 3rd millennium BCE. So if you go back in this live, I said you gotta go back. You need to go back to ABC. This said BCE. Go back as far as you can. What did my aunt say? 3-7 billion years ago? Did my aunt say you gotta go way back. Past life aggressions. You gotta go way back if you want to heal. If you want to heal generational, or not even generation, just the energy of you, just say you a light being or a dark being or a balanced being, whatever you want to be. You still gotta go way back, because that fear, that's what I was feeling. It wasn't that I was in fear. I wasn't in fear, but I was in, I don't really think they care. You're right? That was my mental alchemy to myself, was like, shoot, I'm doing this, but I didn't know. My aunt just kept telling me, giving and receiving, Marcia, giving and receiving. And I'm over here like I want to be quiet. But then they said, but that's why we gave you the channel. You got to work the channel. So I get it now. So I won't be around here like Job saying I'm suffering, right? Because I don't know wisdom. Now, Often, let me see, often of collections of proverbs are framed by what scholars call an instruction. Okay, so it goes along with what Thoth was saying, Hermes, because you know they got so many names about, let's see, you have instructions. You got to be in correspondence of the instructions. All right, so Hermetics, Hermes, Hermetics base the law of truth that all within the universe and emanates from the same source, and the source and this source, the all. So this source that we all can connect to, they can only teach you the basics. They can't teach you the whole. Okay, so the fragment is they can't teach you the whole thing. You have to do the work to make it make sense. That's why you're reading things now and it's all going together because you like, yo, I wasn't getting there before. But the energy, the material and the tools that I was able to dive deep in and say, yo, I gotta release this negativity if I want to be the vessel, if I want to see the fruits of my label over here in this realm and carry it with me and because we had what Hermes said, we had a time of forgetfulness. Was it Hermes that said that? Or no, was it the truth of gospel that you had time of forgetfulness? Hold on. Hold up. Okay. It's the truth of gospel. It's the truth of gospel because they got all this information that they breadcrumbing you from something else. From all this, that's what a scholar is. All right? So, okay. So, this is what I heard. We were here. We were doing something different. We were not in fear, inferior, to anything. We were the hierarchies. We were the highest, the priestess, the feminine, the divine feminine, the wisdom. And we gave this knowledge away, right? And some bodies turned it to ghost, a ghost spell, or they changed the words around and took the ghost spell, the gospel, into a God spell. But they didn't give you all the truth. They didn't know all the books, or at least they said they did not know everything because the books were burned up. So because they told you that the books were burned up, you didn't go out here, or you didn't have at a certain time, space and time, cosmically, that you could go and tap into this energy. You didn't have the past life energy that you even knew that you were supposed to go do some more work for thyself to study thyself approved. And you also didn't know that the prophets were gonna change. The prophetics, the foreseers, the seers, the fortune tellers, the all of it. My scarf coming out. Right? Now, I might have to put my little hat on. All right, so come on. So let's see. This will say we're in the Nas Mahadi now. It says that the truth, the gospel of truth is joy. The gospel of truth is joy. We're not over here saying, do you have you sinner, you sin. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We needed a new way of teaching so that there would be no kind of like you just had to decode everything that you thought you knew because you didn't know nothing. And now you learning with a new set of eyes, ears, consciousness, all of it. And you're not letting nobody tell you what's right or what's wrong for thee. Right? So, the gospel of truth and wisdom. Because we got truth and wisdom out here. Let's see how much battery life we got. Let me see. If one of my friends or anybody I know. All right. So, it says the gospel of truth is joy for people who have received grace from the Father of truth. Right? So I said wisdom was a feminine. In here it says truth is a masculine. They might know him through the power of the word. That they might know him through the power of the word. The word has come from the fullness in the Father's thought and mind. The word is called Savior. Savior, a term that refers to the work he is to do to redeem those who had not known the Father. Their masculine side. And the term gospel refers to revelation of hope. The term gospel refers to the revelation of hope, since it is the means of discovery for those who seek. Revelations is for those who seek for thyself. All right, it says ignorance being error. All have sought for the one from whom they have come forth. All, remember, all is the mind, the universe is mental. All have come. All have sought in their mind, in their mental, have sought for the one from whom they have come forth. This is ignorance being error. All have been within him, the illimitable, the inconceivable, who is beyond all thought. But ignorance of the Father brought terror and fear. Where did you get that from? It was taught to you, right? Ignorance of the Father brought, taught through ignorance and fear. And terror grew dense, like they taught you fear of terror. What? Grew dense like a fog. Okay, what's a fog? A fog is a cloud that flies high. At a certain temperature, the fog comes down. Fog is a cloud, a low flying cloud. Anybody get that? But ignorance of the Father without the mother especially brought terror and fear. And terror grew dense like a fog so that no one could see. Thus error grew powerful. You had to make some errors, baby. Error gave you strength. She error worked on her material substance in vain. The error grew powerful. She grew powerful. She worked on her material substance in vain. Since she did not know the truth, she assumed a fashion figure and prepared with power and in beauty. With power and in beauty. A substitute for truth. So in error, she worked on the material to fashion figure, to give shape with power and beauty of this substitute. Did the work. This was not humiliating for the limitable. This was not humiliating for the zero energy. Inconceivable. This was not humiliating to the inconceivable. In can see. Ability in one. Let's decode that like that. For this terror was forgetfulness. And this deceptive figure were this deceptive figure whereas nothing, whereas established truth in unchanging, unperturbable, and beyond beauty. For this reason, despise error. Error had not root. Error had no root. Error had no root. She was in a fog. She was floating in the fog. That's giving me the energy of You can't tell nobody what's right or what's wrong when they getting it out of the ethers, out of the fog, out of the clouds, out of the air, out of the water. The fog comes down when there's enough heat at the bottom and the coolness, and they combine, that makes a fog. That means you're working with all elements. You limitless. Okay? It says, Era had no root. She was in a fire regarding the Father. Right? The root, the Father is air energy, and she couldn't ground that. You know what I'm saying? Just giving the Father alone. I mean, she just even probably couldn't even go along all the way with just the Adam and the Eve story. She was she was there preparing for works and deeds of forgetfulness and fear in order. She was there preparing works and deeds of forgetfulness and fear in order. So forgetfulness and fear, by them to attract those of middle and take them captive. It's giving me the energy of right here, the middle plane. Like, she wasn't grounded. She knew the Father's energy wasn't just grounded. She wasn't just grounded in just giving the masculine all the energy, right? She was balanced, as above, so below. She was middle plane, I think. The forgiveness of Arrow was not apparent. And it says, it is not, number 18 is what? It is not Jesus as fruit of knowledge, right? So it is not. So that's what it says. The forgetfulness of error was not apparent. It is not, and it say 18. 18 is Jesus as fruit of knowledge. For the Father, forgetfulness did not come into being from the Father. But if it did come into being, it is because of him. If the Father did come into being, it's because of him. What comes into being within him is knowledge, which appeared so that forgetfulness might be destroyed and the Father might be known. Forgetfulness came into being because the Father was not known. So as soon as the Father comes to know, forgetfulness will cease to be. Like I said, you love yourself, you don't love yourself, and then you love yourself again, because you're going to experience different realms of this self love, this study thyself. You're gonna go through levels of this thyself. Now, it says Jesus as fruits of knowledge. This is the gospel of him whom they seek. This is the gospel of him who they seek, revealed to the perfect revealed to the perfect through revealed to the perfect through the Father's mercy, through the hidden mystery of Jesus Christ, enlightened those who were in darkness because of forgetfulness. So, through the hidden mysteries. So, if it's hidden mysteries, that means you don't know Jesus for yourself. You only know what you've been taught. And that's giving you a one. And that's why I see people around here using it as a sword. Hmm. Sword. Words turn backwards. Thought, intellectual being. A realm. Okay, so the thought of the hidden mysteries of Jesus enlightened those who were in darkness because of forgetfulness. They was in darkness because of forgetfulness. He enlightened them and showed the way, and that way is the truth he taught them. He had to teach you himself. You had to tap into the masculine for yourself. Everything else wasn't making sense. Okay? For this reason, Ara, her, was angry with him and persecuted him. But she was restrained by him and made powerless. All right? Who is him? Right? That took her powers, Era's powers. Okay? He was nailed to a tree and he became fruit of the knowledge of the Father. The fruit of the tree, however, did not bring destruction when it was eating, but rather it caused those who ate of it to come into being. Now, apple, red, knowledge, hot, fire. That fog, that fire, that was some kind of ritual. And the ritual was forgetfulness. Because remember, it said forgetfulness of error was not apparent. It was not apparent that you had forgot who you were. Okay? So because you forgot who you were, you that ghost spell made you powerless. You lost your power for a while. He was nailed to a tree. He became the fruit of knowledge in the Father. Right? So remember, the apple, eating the apple is what they kind of claim that you were cursed in, was the knowledge. You was cursed in the knowledge of self. You was cast under a spell. That's what they're trying to say. But something happened. We know something happened for you to be awakening on a mass level. Something happened. Now it says he was nailed to a tree and he became fruit of the knowledge. The fruit of the tree, however, did not bring destruction when it was eaten, but rather it caused those who ate of it to come into being. Something was brought in, bringing, being. Yeah. They were joyful in this discovery, and he found with them. Wait a minute. They were joyful in the discovery, and he found them within him, and they found him within themselves. This is like it was an energy transmutation of knowledge, right? We are all connected. As for the illimitable, inconceivable, perfect Father who made all is the mind, universe is mental. Remember, like I said, they got to throw that in. I don't know why they just didn't attach the Kabbalah book. All right, the all is within him and needs him. You need all the information. But because you gotta have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books out and 10 decks of cards, you don't want to do the work. Alright, so you heard it. It says, although he kept within himself their perfection which he had not given to all, the perfection that he had not given to all, the Father was not jealous. What jealousy could there be between himself and his own members? What jealousy? You were supposed to oversee, you were supposed to surpass the knowledge that you learned in church. You were supposed to go find the other knowledge, the extraterritorial. If you're going to pray to an extraterritorial God, you have to go find the extraterritorial information. You got to go connect with the aliens. You got to drive that chariot. You got to build those boundaries. You got to use those intuitions, that sacred knowledge, the subconscious, divine feminine. Trust yourself. High morals. You are the institution. You are the tradition. You are the wisdom. Trust and believe. You are what you're looking for. You have movement now. Process, actions, integration, discernment, willpower, control, soul searching, new beginnings, truth seeking, innocence in your meditation, spontaneous trust in life. It's a sudden change with this alchemy. Don't be afraid. Work, play with it. 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 I had to had to tell me, you gotta lighten your load, baby. You gotta have some fun. I was so strict. But you gotta embrace, you gotta honor Gala and embrace the great spirit. That's what self-mastery is. That's what study thyself is. Just take the actions, do the work. You know, if you're fighting with yourself, win the fight. The struggle is over. Create your Create your creativity. Create your abundance. This is for you. Release the negativity of what people, places, and things can say. Put the content out there. Do the work. Channel the message. Set it and forget it. You need to for your necessity. For your mental alchemy. So you can be clear-hearted, clear mind. Balance. That's all. You're looking for balance. Don't think that you're doing this for nothing. Gotta pick that up. This is self-love. You learn some valuable lessons for yourself and for others. Because what did I say? You come to YouTube to learn something. And once you learn, then you, okay, so you read, you study, and you practice. Right? That's what the magician do. They get alone, they become that mountain, and then they tear some shit down. Strongholds, walls, boundaries, spell work. They can't prevent off you when you find out that there's plenty, enough to go around. Even on YouTube, it's enough people for you to get 1,000 subscribers in watch time if you're on the right frequency. And if not, you know, if you've been busted doing some detective work, secrets exposed, and you feel like, what's that? Lurking in the dark. Do that count? Is that an add or subtract? Right? But you love without condition. Even if it's something going on in the dark that you can't see. You stand on that cliff and you keep playing with it. Player. You keep playing with it until you hook what you want. Until you find that yin and yang. That love. Right? When you find it, you have caught. It's a wow factor. It's a aha. Yes, sir. It's chaotic. It's everywhere. Right? But it's all coming together. And you're going to do it your way, and you're going to be able to teach people several things around the world. All around the world. Food is all around the world with this energy. This high priestess got some self-love. She gonna sell a little bit. Right? From loving on you, feeling happy, releasing the past, taking a break. Right? It's okay to take breaks. I believe if you take breaks, you come back more and more powerful. I sure do. That's what I believe. You doing the mental work. Activation. You're going to have some times where you're going to have to 111 alarms and no contact. Some people it's not their divine type. They don't have a synchronicity showing up nowhere. But you, with this self-love and this alchemy and this chariot that you're driving, you in sync. Your vibe is in sync. Period. There's enough to go around. Woo. And we're not living in fear no more. No more. and we taking actions, mind games. We're not playing mind games on the level that they want to play. We know more. We're going to teach more. We're going to do more. We're going to do it everywhere. If one don't pay, the next one will. You have the tools. You have everything you need with this high priest and this hierophant. And you coming clean with it. You have everything that you need with this hierophant, this hermit. When you was in hermit mode and you got high with that hierophant and that high priestess, baby, that chariot just went up. And you just coming clean about it. I didn't need nobody else to heal me. Break every spell, even the ones back from Pope Francis the Fifth. Break them. Return the sender. Blow your trumpet. Yeah. You might be guarded from some love for a while. You know what I'm saying? For anybody that play with you, there's that X again. Anybody that play with you, ooh, I got this mixed up in the wrong deck. Anybody that played with you, that was ignoring you, yeah, they about to be an X, period. You're gonna have to leave some people behind. But that's why I say it's time to release the negativity. If somebody got some negative energy and they sending it your way, return the sender. Road is open. Halls of a minty. The halls of a minty. It was hidden. The doors were hidden. I heard the doors were hidden in cards. Teamwork. It ain't hidden no more. It ain't hidden no more, baby. You coming clean about that. It's not hidden anymore. That snooping. You did some snooping. You were like Job. Hey, no sir. I gotta do something different. But you took a break. You took a break. From living that lie. When you knew you had some truths. Some hidden truths. Some occult knowledge. Clear mind. You activated your clear mind and clear heart. Forgiveness. You went out there and got your memory back. Ooh. Yeah, you were fighting. You had to go no contact though. You had to go no contact. Because you knew your communication was poor. Your communication be poor. We had the wrong people in your energy. You have to get the wrong people out. Everything must go. Towers. What? The towers out here. Everything. It was a sudden change. Chaos. Revelations. Disaster. It was disastrous. To tell somebody, I gotta go. This closure is for real. It's over for real. I need my inner peace. I'm moving on. I got soul contracts out here that I got to. Yes, baby. I got soul contracts. I don't have time. Block. They probably calling you. You like, I don't know who that is. Shit, all the phones done been tapped into. All day. Those people call your phone. I think we all about to get a new. We about to get a whole new phone company. We're gonna have some black owned phone companies. Anybody know the black owned phone companies? Mm, wow. I heard some people, somebody about to, you about to be hearing it. We're about to get off their grid. They shit about to be shut down. Over for real. There might be some esoteric. Yo, lessons learned, tough times, growth, leveling up. Leveled up for them mind games, gaslighting, analyzing you, emotional. Man, we about to be what? Secretive, moving secret. Mm. Take what resonates, leave the rest, vibe and sync. I'm Dream Truth with better communications. Use your discernment. It's time to release negativity and it's time to take action. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. I had a good day, a good time, and space. Good night.